Yeah, you know, there are a couple of different misconceptions about Cinco de Mayo, which is today. So we've got Rossana Ascencio, who after the break is going to tell us what it really is and how it's more than just a big fiesta. Stay with us. You're watching BT. We'll be right back. So happy Cinco de Mayo. Rossana Ascencio going to educate us because a lot of people think that it's just a big party.
And, you know, it isn't really. Of course, we are more than happy for people to celebrate Mexican traditions all around the world, but Cinco de Mayo is the anniversary of a battle that we know as the Battle of Puebla. It took place in 1862, and General Zaragoza, with his men, defeated the French army who were trying to invade Mexico at the time. So that's what we commemorate on Cinco de Mayo, the anniversary of the Battle of Puebla.
And a lot of people think it is Mexican Independence Day.
It isn't really. Just to give you an idea, for people to say, oh, happy Cinco de Mayo and have a big fiesta, would be like for people around the world to think that in Canada, we celebrate in a larger, louder way the anniversary of the War of 1812 instead of Canada Day. We would never do that. Of course, we remember the War of 1812, so just we remember Cinco de Mayo and the Battle of Puebla, but it is not our national day.
Okay, so then how is it being, and I guess maybe I shouldn't be saying, how is it being celebrated in Mexico then?
Well, celebrated or remembered in the city of Puebla, which is nearby Mexico City, and in other cities around the country, of course, it is a statutory holiday. There are military parades. You can actually go on Twitter and follow Puebla and the Cinco de Mayo celebration, and then you'll get a feeling of what Cinco de Mayo is all about in Mexico. We don't go all out crazy and have crazy fiestas all over town. We do remember it, but it is not our national Independence Day.
And so for today on Breakfast Television there, Jody, we are going to remember it by enjoying some traditional Mexican fare, courtesy of Rossana Ascencio. For more details on her, you can check out her website, but we're with Rossana all morning long. Yeah, and as we honor Cinco de Mayo, we are talking about the flavors of Mexico, including Mexico's original energy drink that's made from dough. Oh yes, Rossana is going to teach us how to make it. Coming up next on BT. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And who knew that the energy drink or the power drink of Mexico was made of dough? And there are actually a number of misconceptions regarding the food, Rossana.
That's right. Just like with Cinco de Mayo, a lot of people think that Mexican food is heavy or greasy or not healthy, and it's the contrary. And atole de chocolate or champurrado is a perfect example. This is an ancient drink that actually dates back to pre-Columbian times. And like you said before, it is made out of masa. And I cannot stress that enough. I do that all the time in my cooking classes. Mexican food, it is actually the perfect alternative for gluten-free, vegetarian, and even vegan diets.
And this wasn't created special for those diets. This is an ancient...
It's been around for centuries. So what we did, we dissolved the masa, which is a corn dough made out of this processed corn. We dissolve it in water. We cook it slowly like you pretty much would do with a roux, with a wheat-based flour. And then once it's thickened, then we flavor it with two of Mexican's gifts to the world, Mexican cacao and pure vanilla for flavor. And actually, you know what? It's so nutritious. My dad really grew up drinking this every morning. My grandma used to make a huge pot for him and his brothers and drink that every morning. It'll keep you going. It has all the nutrients from the corn and the antioxidants from the cacao, and you have to try it. It is nice and full of body, and is completely gluten-free and dairy-free, Dawn. This is delicious.
And you were saying that one of the more quote-unquote modern ingredients, only from the last 500 years, was, of course, the cinnamon addition.
And the raw sugar cane. Of course, those two ingredients were introduced by the Europeans to what is now Mexico, and we became the launching pad for many different spices and ingredients. So with these two additions, Mexican cacao and vanilla, we have this delicious champurrado or atole de chocolate. Your original power breakfast.
Not too sweet, and it is absolutely delicious. For more details on all the great things Rossana is doing, you can check out her website. And Thor, check out our Twitter page where we've actually forwarded the information about how you can watch the streaming parade and everything right out of Mexico.
I certainly will.
Salud.
And say hi to Rossana for me, Dawn. Always love having her on Breakfast Television.
If Bigfoot were hungry, perhaps he could eat sopes. How about that? So coming up next, we are going to continue to enjoy the flavors of Mexico as we honor Cinco de Mayo by making sopes. Stay with us. You're watching BT. Thanks very much, Jody. And first off, we want to thank the Y here for letting us use their beautiful kitchen this morning.
Isn't it gorgeous here at the Robert Lee YMCA? They have amazing facilities.
So wonderful. And we are, again, honoring and remembering Cinco de Mayo while enjoying some traditional Mexican flavors. Now, we used this in our beverage.
Atole.
This morning. So this is going to be something we can use for another
For
dish.
many different applications, from making tortillas like you're gonna make right now for the sopes, just give it a press. We can make tamales, we can make many different applications. Corn is a primal ingredient, very important in our Mesoamerican diet.
So how did I do there?
Perfect. See, it's nothing too complicated. You technically made your first little tortilla with this.
Oh, good.
Yes, so you can, then we'll transfer it over to the comal with the rest of its little friends here, which are already cooking. And what transfers, or what makes a sope, changing it from a tortilla, thicker than we normally make tortillas in Mexico, to this, is that we need to pinch the edges. And this is something that I always teach in my cooking classes. You can learn how to make your own tortillas. And I'm pinching the edges. You want to finish it for me?
Okay, sure.
Just pinch it away to the edge.
And now corn has a very significant historical element as well, right?
Most definitely. The first corns, of course, originated in the Americas, and from there it was taken all over the world. And it is said that according to ancient Mayan tradition, oh, beautiful little sope. According to the ancient Mayan tradition, man was made out of corn dough, out of masa, and the gods just blew divine breath into it. So we regard it in very high standards, and we use it for many things in our diet. This is going to be part of our breakfast.
This is going to be part of our breakfast that we are going to be making closer to 9 o'clock there, Jody. Of course, it is Cinco de Mayo. Follow our Twitter page where we did post a link, according to Rossana, where you can follow a stream from Mexico of the parade that they're going to be happening and some of the acknowledgements of this very special day.
In Puebla.
In Puebla. I love it.
We could have a translation of chubade in Spanish. I don't know. We'll have to ask Rossana, but it is breakfast, so we are going to be making Rossana's version of a Mexican Eggs Benedict as we acknowledge Cinco de Mayo here on BT. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Yeah, thanks very much. And we are going to have a Mexican breakfast, but that has a bit of a familiarity to people who haven't maybe had Mexican food, but they've certainly had Eggs Benedict.
Of course. And once again, going back to how Mexican cuisine can be very friendly for the gluten-free, vegetarian, and even vegan diets, this is another great example. We have our sopes, which you helped me make. We're going to top them with a little bit of the refried beans, another staple in Mexican cuisine. Of course, now we have our eggs, perfectly poached, and you're going to help me bathe them. Instead of hollandaise sauce, we're using Puebla's signature sauce, mole poblano.
Which is what?
It is a very unique sauce, many different moles across Mexico, but this one is actually from Puebla. That's why we call them huevos del convento, because it's said to have originated in a convent in Puebla. So huevos del convento means eggs from the convent. And it is a sauce that is comprised of many different ingredients, including dried chiles, seeds, nuts, and spices that were brought to Mexico from all over the world. And for a healthier alternative, what I'm serving here, instead of a hash brown, we are gonna do a nopales and mushroom side. So this is full of fiber and nutrients as well, so it is definitely a healthier alternative to your regular potato hash brown.
And lots of people wanted to know, where can they get the recipes for this?
Well, we're gonna be posting the recipes online on my website, so you can visit culinaryencanto.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Rossana, for educating us on Mexican culture and food. Jody, as we acknowledge Cinco de Mayo on Breakfast Television.